there, boys and girls, and welcome to episode 283 of Sonic Boom TV. This is the completing the R.E.M. discography and showing what I have from R.E.M. In my collection episode. First, I want to say congratulations to Los Angeles Dodgers, my third favorite baseball team, for winning the World Series over Toronto Blue Jays, which is, I believe, Dan from Off the Charts' favorite team. And if not, they're from Canada, he's from Canada, it goes together. So, there you go, Dan. We beat you. But besides that, I wanted to show my collection, tell you a little bit about how I found this band, and show you what the album was that got me to the finished discography. Now, they're not all on CD, they're not all on vinyl, it's a mix. And two of them actually are kind of, they're CD, but they're like little box set type things. But the last one I needed, which I've never heard, and I still haven't opened this one yet. We'll open it when we get to it. But R.E.M's Accelerate. I got this from VC Vinyl last week, I guess. It was, I paid $19 for it. I've seen people pay a lot more, and a couple people pay a little bit less. So, it's about right for them, the price that I got. But this was the last one I needed. I've never heard it. I never opened it yet. So we'll get to that when this one comes up in the situation. So, my eyes twitching if I didn't say that already again. So we'll just deal with that as we go. So I guess it was around 1981 to 83, somewhere in between there. My grandfather had this world band radio, and it was like this box, and you could listen to radio stations all over the world, and you really didn't know what you were listening to because, I don't know that if there was any kind of chart he had that listed things. He may have, because my grandfather was a very smart guy, and he knew all kind of stuff, so he may have had some kind of listing of what stations were. But he would let me play with it when I was over at their house, if I was doing a sleepover or whatever. Had it on his desk, and it was really a table, like a dining room table, but he made it into a desk, and it had all his stuff and newspaper and everything. Had a little section, and he had this box of world band radio. I think it had a little TV built into it too. He ended up giving that to me when I went to college, or right before I went to college, and I don't know what happened, but I was at college and I was living with my sister in an apartment, and she says she never touched it, but somebody went in that apartment and touched it, because I came home one time and I was talking to somebody at school about it, and I was going to bring it up there to show them. And I get home one weekend and I go in there, and the thing is cracked in half. It was like a stereo, sort of, not a stereo, but like if you had a CD player about that wide and that tall, whatever. And it would just crack straight down the middle, like somebody dropped something really heavy on top of it. I don't know what could have happened. Don't know who did it, but I never had one again. But anyway, back to 1981 to 83 sometime. I was playing with this radio, and I was going, trying to find a station that would come in. It worked better at nighttime, it for some reason, I guess the signal is clearer at night. I don't know. Plus, I was in New Orleans, and not a huge city, but maybe there was interference. I don't know, but at night we could get stations and listen to stuff. And I was listening to something, looking for like pop music or whatever, top 40 kind of stuff, because I was 10 years old, 10 to 12, somewhere in between there. And I came across the song Radio Free Europe. Now, I don't know any better where these people are from, listening to it on this world band radio. I don't know what country I was listening to this from. I don't know if it was an American station. I don't know if it was somewhere in Europe, whatever, but it was a song called Radio Free Europe. So I thought it was a European song, and I loved it. Had no idea who sang it. I don't know if I found out that night or not, really, because when I first was hearing it, I know I didn't know who it was, but maybe they said the name at the end. I don't know. But I love that song. And eventually I would hear it a little more. Because they did two versions of it. There was an 81 version and an 83 version. That's why I say those years, because it had to be one of those early times. And I don't remember much after that age going there to listen to this radio. I don't. Maybe it could have been a little later, but I'm really doubting that it was. And so anyway, I hear this song and I really love it, and it would be a couple of years before I would hear it again. And when I did, then I found out who it was for sure. Found out they were from America and everything, but I never bought anything, and I still at that point was just starting to buy or not really buy, but get CDs, and I was getting cassettes, blank cassettes of recording off the radio. Probably had that song and maybe a couple other ones like the one I love, maybe, but really didn't get anything by them once I started collecting stuff until the Green album came out. Now, I wanted to get my stuff here. When Green came out, I bought it, and I knew several of their older songs, and so I knew that I should get something else, but I got the Green CD, which, has Pop Song 89, Stand Up, Stand in the Place Where You Live, Orange Crush, and what was the other one? I think that was the big songs from it. But I love this album when I got it. It's probably my favorite album by them. But I also picked up Eponymous. It's a hard word to say. I know most people say it wrong. I believe it's Eponymous. But this one had Radio Free Europe, the original mix, Gardening at Night, Talk About the Passion, South Central Rain, Don't Go Back to Rockville, Can't Get There From Here, Driver 8, Romance, Fall on Me, The One I Love, Finest Work Song, and It's the End of the World as We Know It, and I Feel Fine. So this was like all it's like a greatest hits kind of thing. I mean, and they don't call it a greatest hits, but it's basically a greatest hits up to that point. So this caught me up with stuff from the past to this. And I didn't have all the songs I wanted or all the deep cuts or whatever, but it was to get me, okay, now I got a lot of songs by R.E.M, but and I can catch this other stuff later. So over the years, I like from the Green up till not Monster. Hold on, I gotta look at the list here. Gotta look at the list, guys. I was prepared for this, sort of. So from Green through Monster, yes, Monster. Those 4 albums I kept with them, and that I thought everything through all those was great. And they were kind of dealing with Bill Berry having I think he had cancer or something, and they weren't like touring or anything like that, and I think they decided to move away from the pop stuff that they were doing, because they went from this kind of darker pop band. I mean, they were always pop, but they were alternative rock. They were like the first alternative rock band I knew, besides them and U2 were the first two. But they kind of went back to the original kind of stuff, but not even like that far. And they came out with these, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There were 7 more albums, and I have them all now. But they were never, to me, they were never as good as the everything through. I think everything through Monster is great, and then after that, it's good, but it's not great. So I just wanted to show what I have, and we'll just go through them in chronological order if I do this correctly. There are some things that are not albums, and there are some things that are like singles and stuff like that. It's not a whole lot, but it's enough to waste your time, right? So I picked this up, I think, last year. This is not an original. None of these are like the old stuff. It's not original pressings at all. None of it. But this is Chronic Town. This is the first EP that they did. And this has Stumble, Wolves Lower, Gardening at Night, which is the big song, and Carnival of Sorts Boxcars. So this is a good one. I bought this. This is a reissue from a couple years ago that I bought at a record store. last year sometime. So that's not the first album. That's the first EP. I think there's some other EPs I don't have, but you know, maybe I'll work on that at some point. So next we have Reckoning. Got this from VC Vinyl, probably last year. Track listing is not. I'm not going to open these up. I'm not even going to. You know, if I know what songs that I could point out on them, I can't. I'll do that, but I'm not really going to do that on this. So that was Reckoning. Then we got Fables of the Reconstruction. This one is got a weird kind of cover because it Fables of the and then Reconstruction's on the back. You can't really see too well. Then the next couple are probably the ones that people I knew in high school were listening to, I guess, before I got to that point to listening to them. But Murmur, this one has Radio Free Europe 100 again. Talk About the Passion, and that's the big hits, I think. Yeah, but this one was a good one. And then we have Life's Rich Pageants, which I found this one maybe a year or two ago at the like a Goodwill or something. It's $1.99 I paid for it. I think that's a Goodwill sticker, it looks like. But this one has Begin to Begin. What's the other one? My Eyes Are Killing Me, and this thing is Fall on Me. And the way the words are, it's all spread out, and I'm trying to put them together with my eyes blinking like crazy. Forget it. Who cares? So then we had Document. The Document is one I know. I remember somebody having a T-shirt in high school for this one. That's got Finest Work Song, Welcome to the Occupation. It's the End of the World as we know it, and I Feel Fine. The One I Love. And that's about it. But this was a big album for them. This is probably what broke them through to the mainstream. And then they came out with Green. So I've got Green on CD, and I've got this Green. It's a reissue. Got this last year, I believe, year before maybe. This one has, as I said, Pop Song 89, Get Up, Stand, Orange Crush, Hair Shirt. That was a good one too. That was the one that really pulled me in fully to them. Then we've got Out of Time, and this is the one that pulled people out of them. This is a Target exclusive. Thing about this one is I saw this at Target, and I didn't buy it for one day, and then they clearanced it out for like a penny at all the things, and then all of a sudden I went to the record store and they had it, and it was like $24.99 or something like that. So I bought it from the record store, but at $22.99, it's still on there. I bought it for $22.99, but I know that the record store paid a penny for those dirty suckers. But they got me on it. But it was more than that at Target. I think it was like 26 or 28, something like that. So I know I saved in the long run. But if I'd have been there the next day when it was clearanced out, I could have got it for a penny. Or maybe if I'd have scanned it that day that I was there, I might have got it for a penny. Who knows? But this one has Radio Song, which has Biz Markie, I think, the rapper guy. Losing My Religion, which was a hit, big hit. Low, Near Wild Heaven. Shiny Happy People is the one that really kind of... I don't think they liked the song, but it was so poppy, kind of corny. I like it, but it was that song that everybody heard, and anybody that thought they were cool all of a sudden didn't. And the people who already didn't think they were cool thought they were terrible after that. But it's a great album. I used to listen to this a lot. A lot of these I listen to a lot. Then we've got Automatic for the People. This is a 25th anniversary edition. Nothing special about it as far as anything extra, I don't think. No, there was no extra stuff. This one had Drive, which harkened back to the old style of their kind of darkness stuff. You know, like not darkness, but dark sounding stuff. I loved that song. The Sidewinder Sleeps Tonight, Everybody Hurts. Everybody knew that song. That was like the ballad kind of song that blew up. Man on the Moon, Night Swimming, all hits off of that one. So, good album. Great album. Now, this one kind of likes to rival some of my favorites because of basically one song, and it's the opener. It's Monster, and What's the Frequency, Kenneth. What's the Frequency, Kenneth is probably the heaviest song they've done, like blazing rock kind of stuff. It's you know it, you've heard it. You know, the video's awesome for it, but there is a version of this that has a second LP. I don't know if there's a CD version, but there's definitely a vinyl version that has a second LP with different versions of the album. And I tried to get it, and for whatever reason, it was always like, you know, it said it was available. Then when I tried to get it, it wasn't available, like on Amazon or whatever. And I tried like 3 or 4 times, and then this came up on VC vinyl, and I grabbed it. I don't remember what I paid for it, but I had to get it. So it's got What's the Frequency, Kenneth, Crush with Eyeliner, I Don't Sleep by Dream, Star 69, another good one. Strange Currencies, Tongue, Bang and Blame. There's a lot of hits on this one. I Took Your Name. That's not a hit, I don't believe. That's it. That's all the hits, I think I said. So, but one of my favorites. This one's probably, if it's not number 2, it might be number 3. I haven't ranked these. I don't know for sure, but definitely the good stuff. And the kind of the end of the good R.E.M. stuff, I think, where I was really into them, really following them, really trying to learn, know all their songs and stuff. And a lot of the stuff I had picked up on MP3s as well. The older stuff that I didn't have. But these newer ones I didn't have on MP3s or anything up until for a while, unless I found the CD. So the next one is one I got, I guess, last year or the year before. I waited on it. I didn't want to buy it for some reason. I don't know, because it was only $10. But it's The New Adventures in Hi-Fi, and this is a little book. And the label's on a sticker. So I don't know why they did that. But you can see the name on there. New Adventures in Hi-Fi. It's got a book. It's got 1, 2, 3 CDs. Or one might be a DVD. Yeah, this 3 is a Blu-ray. The second CD is a B-sides and rarities, and then the first is the album. And I never had this album before, but this one has Bittersweet Me is the only song I could remember knowing by them from this one, from hearing on the radio. But I don't know if there was any other hits on here. Maybe Ebo the Letter. I think that might have been a single. But didn't know much about this one. But when I listened to it, it was pretty good. Like I said, all these are pretty good to good. They're nothing I hate. It just isn't what they were doing back in whenever. Then the next one, Up. I don't know what anything on Up. I don't believe. Oh, Day Sleeper was the hit off of this, Day Sleeper. And then I got this one. It's another one of those little booklet things, another version of Up, different color scheme. But this one has it's also a 3-disc. I think they're all CDs. What does it say? 2 CD, 1 Blu-ray. Okay, so the words are so small on the thing. I don't know, but it's you know, pretty good. I wanted this one because they had the extra songs in a DVD, and I think it was $10 as well from BC Vinyl. What it cost in the store, I don't know. But this one, that one, I think I got that from a Goodwill or something, because it's just got a green tag on it. So then we got Reveal. This one this might be my least favorite one. But again, even though it's the least favorite one, it's okay. Yeah, I don't know any singles. I couldn't tell you. There's no singles on this that I know. The colors are slightly deeper on the CD than the thing from the jig. And we've got Around the Sun, the last regular album with the CD I have. And it's a, what do they call that? I don't know what they call it. Some kind of case. It'll come to me later when I'm trying to sleep. But the case, you know, the soft case, whatever that is. This one has Leaving New York. I think that was the hit, or the single anyway. This one's okay. I love this album cover, even though, you know, it's just a blurred out picture, but I really kind of like it. And then we got Accelerate, the one I just got. Don't know anything about this one. Never heard any of these songs before. But hopefully it turns out to be really awesome and great, and surprises me. I don't have anything to cut it open with, so I'm gonna risk splitting my finger open again like I did last week on a record. So I'm gonna cut through that. I did it without hurting myself. Alright, so we got the cover. It says the penultimate 2008 studio album includes the singles Supernatural, Super Serious, Hollow Man, Man-Sized Wreath, Until the Day is Done, 180 gram vinyl, produced by Jackknife Lee, one of the, that is tiny writing, one of the I don't know what that says. One of the best records R.E.M. have maybe ever made. I don't know. Rolling Stone said something like that here. I'll zoom in and let you guys try to. You could maybe screenshot that and read it if you want. It's that tiny writing at the bottom. I think it's one of the best records they ever made. Which, if it is, I will be happy. But I doubt it is. Because who trusts Rolling Stone, right? We got lyric sheet. Oh, that's all the people who made the record. And then we've got black vinyl, white label, very like 70s looking label and font. So I'll be listening to that the next couple days, hopefully. And then the final album that they put out, which When I got that one from VC Vinyl last year, around this time last year, I think. And I listened to it, and I was disappointed that their last album was not what I thought it would be. And it's R.E.M. Collapse Into Now. Is that what it is? Collapse Into... Yeah, Collapse Into Now, yeah. It's the final 2011 studio album. So they haven't done an album since 2011. And I didn't get it until 2024. But it says includes singles Uberlin, Oh My Heart, and If It Happened Today. I do like the cover. I do like the back cover. I just, the album, this could be my least favorite of their albums. I think if I said that about that other one, this one's probably worse than that one. I mean, it's not that it's terrible. I'm never going to say terrible. It just wasn't what I was looking for. So then I've got some other things to fit in to the collection. I'm not a completist. I wasn't trying to buy like a bunch of singles or anything, but I have a few. I think I might even have one on a cassette somewhere, but I didn't even bother to look for it if I do, because I think it's this one, Day Sleeper. I got Day Sleeper, which has Emphysema is a song. It's an extra song. Got these probably at like Goodwill or something. Bittersweet Me, it's a one-track song, CD. Tongue, which has the album version, What's the Frequency, Kenneth, Bang and Blame, Don't Sleep, I Don't Sleep, I Dream, Live. I think it says Live. And contains live tracks from Saturday Night Live. That's why I bought this one. All three of the, everything is live. All three of them are live except for the album version of Tongue. So all those things are a Saturday Night Live version. That's why I bought that. Sidewinder Sleeps Tonight, Collector's Edition CD1. There's a CD too, I assume. I bought this because it has The Lion Sleeps Tonight on it. And it also has a song called Fretless. Recorded at Athens. Oh, it just says dated. Well, it's not live. But this was the first time you could get that song anywhere. That's why I bought that. Previously unreleased. This I think I got at a Goodwill or something. And it's a CD. It says CD on the back. It's R.E.M's. It's a single for something. It's hard to read. Get Up LP version. So it's the Get Up single. It's got Orange Crush, Live, Turn You Inside Out, Live. It's just 3 songs. So I wanted Orange Crush Live. I got this at like a Goodwill too. So I'll probably pay $1. Probably paid $1 each for these, if that. Then, as I showed, the eponymous CD. Then we got Dead Letter Office. I always thought this was an album, a regular album. Back in the day, I used to think that was one of their albums, but it's not. It's like a like B-sides and stuff. I don't know if anything on here stands out. But there's cover songs, and I think there's probably demos and stuff like that. Oh, it does have the Chronic Town. It has this EP at the end. I forgot about that. That's probably why I ended up buying it when I did, because that has Gardening at Night, Carnival of Sorts, Boxcars, 1,000. Oh, it's not in order either. It's kind of, it's there, but it's. Let me look. Carnival of Sorts, Gardening at Night, Wolves, Stumble. Yeah, the songs are not in the same order as this, but they're there. They're the last 5 songs. And then just songs I don't know. You know, King of the Road could be the cover. Toys and Addicts definitely a cover. And I don't remember. I haven't listened to this in ages, many years. Then you got the one that is a greatest hits, sort of. I think there's a version of this with 2 discs, or maybe there's a 2-disc LP of it. But it's R.E.M. The Best of IRS Years, 1982 to 87, and I Feel Fine. And it's got 12. Looks like it's got 21 songs, and it's got all the good ones. Begin to Begin, Radio for Europe, Pretty Persuasion, Talk About the Passion, Don't Go Back to Rockville, Sitting Still, Gardening at Night, 7 Chinese Brothers, South Central Rain, I'm Sorry, Driver 8, love that song. Can't Get There From Here, Finest Work Song, Feeling Gravity's Pull, I Believe, Life and How to Live It, Cuyahoga, The One I Love, Welcome to the Occupation, Fall on Me, Perfect Circle, It's the End of the World as We Know It, and I Feel Fine. So if you want the early years stuff and you don't want to get all the CDs, or the records or whatever, get this one, because this has got it. This has got everything. This one has more than this one, for sure. And this one I don't think is just limited to those years. I'm not 100% sure. And then the last thing I have, I don't know where I got this. Yes, I do know where I got this. CD Warehouse for $8.99. It's called Essential R.E.M. R.E.M. in the Attic, Alternative Recordings 1985 to 89, Limited Edition 1998. Slipcase. And as you can see, CD Warehouse, I paid $8.99 for that. That was like a used CD store. There's clouds in there. You can see them through there a little bit, but it's better to look at them like that. And for some reason the CD's in there backwards. So we got that. I don't know what's on this. Been a while since I listened to this one too. Finest Work Song, Other Mix, Driver 8 Live, Gardening at Night, different vocal mix, Swan H, Disturbance at the Heron House Live, Maps and Legends Live, Tired of Singing Trouble, Just a Touch Live in the Studio, Toys in the Attic, the Aerosmith song, if you don't know that. Dream, All I Have to Do, The One I Love Live, Crazy, Can't Get There From Here, Radio Edit, Last Date, and Time After Time, etc. Melody. I don't know if that's the Cyndi Lauper song. God, my eyes are bad, guys. I'll have to go see about glasses or something. But that'll be a problem for next year. Got to get through this year's problems first. So that's all I have. That's it. That's the entire discography plus some R.E.M. Probably one of my favorite bands as far as alternative rock goes, with a little bit of pop edge to it. I know people don't like them for whatever reason, probably for shiny happy people and that era for some reason. But I don't think that you can deny a lot of their hits. I mean, they've put out some good songs, and if you're open-minded about music, I don't see how you couldn't like a lot of the stuff they did. Now, if you're I'm only this guy and I only listen to this kind of stuff, well, you're not going to like them. But if you're open to a lot of different things, from pop to alternative to metal, they're not metal though, but if your range goes in there, you almost have to have some like for R.E.M. And I'm glad that I finally got the complete discography. Now to get it all on vinyl, still got to work on that. I'm not going to try to get it all on CD. I mean, I got most of it on CD, but I'm not going to go out of my way to get them on CD because I think I have the MP3s and stuff of everything already. And there's really no reason to have it on CD except for to say I have it. But I would like to get the rest on vinyl. It may happen. I've been pretty lucky at finding stuff like that, reissues on stuff, or even original stuff on that, those kind of bands like, U2, NXS, even R.E.M. But, it's not difficult to find their stuff. So I may be able to get it all on vinyl before long. And VC Vinyl keeps popping up with stuff, you never know what they're going to come up with. And people do like to overbid on stuff on there nowadays because I don't know what happened. It used to be like the place where you get stuff really cheap, and you still can get most things cheaper than retail, but not like you used to. It used to be you could get really good stuff for $10, $12. Now you'll go to $25 instead of $35 or $45, whatever it is in the store. But I limit myself on that. I'm not unless I really, really want something, I'm not bidding it up past 20 most of the time. And that's what happened on the last R.E.M. I was like, I really want it because I need it. It's the last one I need, but I'm not going over 20. And for that day, for whatever reason, the person that was bidding against me stopped at 18 and I hit 19 and I got it. But I've seen it go for $27, $28, and I have seen it go for $16. So, I didn't get it the cheapest I possibly could, but I got it. So, so that's my R.E.M. collection. Got my pumpkin lit up there, my after Halloween thing. I've got some records that I'm not gonna do another show tomorrow or tonight or whatever. I'm gonna wait because I've got some things that are coming. I've got probably 6 records here. I actually turned some in. I won 2 things from VC Vinyl that I didn't want, and I didn't bother to show them to you guys because I already traded them in. I traded that in, and my one of those Dropkick Murphys records that I got 2 of, and I got 3 records. I got $45, so that that actually paid for the original Dropkick Murphys one. But I traded those in on Friday on Halloween, and I bought 3 records with that money plus a little bit extra that I had, and I want to show those. And I've got a record it should have came today. I don't know what the post office was doing, but they didn't bring it. But that'll probably show up on Monday or Tuesday. But then there's a show I was just happened to be watching, and I won 4 giveaways on this thing. Now, I just popped in the show to see what they were because I was bored one night and I wasn't really planning on buying anything. I had $10 credit because I won something from somebody else and they didn't bother to send it. Well, they sent theirs too now, even though I've already got the credit for them not sending it, and they gave me $10 for something I won. So I don't know what that's going to be. So I've got a mystery from that person, but I've got 4 mystery records coming from this person I won, and I also bought 2 things for them for $5 each because they were starting their bids at $5, and I was bidding on quite a few things, but I didn't want to spend too much money because I was waiting for my paycheck to come, and so I got 2 at $5, and one of them I think is like a hits of the 60s or something like that. I don't remember what it was. Like surf music, like Jan and Dean and Beach Boys and stuff like that, I guess. I think it was a 2 LP. They said it was in great condition. So I got that for $5, and then I got that Sheriff album. If you remember back in, I guess it was 88, 89 or so, the song came on the radio. When I'm With You, I think it's called. And it exploded on the radio and became, I don't know if it got to number 1, but it was a massive, huge hard rock ballad, not heavy metal, but hard rock for sure. Massive ballad. Everybody either loved it or hated it. I loved it. Everybody I knew hated it. All my friends, the rocker friends anyway. Girls probably loved it. And I got that for $5. And but that was a band that had broken up, and when that song became a huge hit, they didn't get back together, which could have been good for them. They could have cashed in, did a tour, cashed in for a year, and got the hell out of town. But they just decided no, and I'm sure they got paid for the song, being a single. But I got that. I think that was their only album too. So I got that. I don't know anything else on it. I never owned it before. I think I have an MP3 of that single from something else that they got put on, like a soundtrack or something. But I've never heard any of their other stuff, so that'll be interesting. And then I've got at least 4 records from them, and maybe one from the other one if they actually sent me a record. Mysteries, who knows what it'll be. So I'm just going to wait until all that comes in before I do my next episode. I haven't been very proactive in doing episodes lately. Nobody's fault, but just, haven't had the energy to do it. It's simple as that. So anyway, that's all. I hope you guys enjoyed watching me flip through some R.E.M. stuff and telling a little story at the beginning. I will talk to you guys later. Bye.